Natalie, we're waiting on Amy Sewell. No, she's not online, but we're waiting on her right now. She's the only one.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Please turn on your microphones. I'd like to welcome you to the joint meeting of the Sugarland Development Corporation, the governing body of the city of Sugarland, and the Sugarland 4B Corporation.
Okay, pardon me, President Lane. We also need the 4B to open the meeting as well.
And Amy Sewell's not here, so I guess I get to open the meeting. The meeting, I don't have a script, but the meeting of the 4B Corporation is now open. Any questions?
Looks like the meeting is open. Thomas, do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we shall proceed to agenda item number 3, workshop, review of and discussion on the integrated marketing program. Whitney Williams, Business Development Associate, Melissa Raju, Tourism and Marketing Manager.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Raju, and I'm the Tourism and Visitor Services Manager. And today we will be discussing our 6-month integrated marketing strategy update that we've executed with DCI. And joining us virtually is Kat Saunders, Senior Vice President of Client Strategy with DCI. Hi, Kat. As a refresher, I want to start today's presentation by outlining our mission. And how we've been accomplishing this, which is to position Sugarland as an economic powerhouse, a strategic location for business investment, and a premier destination. We've executed robust PR and marketing strategies to connect with target corporate executives in key markets and the reinforcement of our key messages. You may be asking yourselves, what are those marketing strategies? Our integrated marketing strategies consist of activating a paid digital strategy, continual website optimization, social media development and engagement, community outreach through interactive and experiential activities, and proactively generating media coverage to target our key audiences with the goal of positioning Sugarland as a strategic location for business investment and an economic powerhouse. So who are our target audiences? There we go. So who do we connect with? There are 3 types of communication channels that are housed under the city of Sugarland, which all have different target audiences, as you can see on the screen. For example, business development social channels are used to target site selectors, real estate brokers, to name a few, with the goal to attract business investment. And Visit Sugarland targets leisure travelers and meeting planners with the goal of generating visitation. Thirdly, the City of Sugarland social channels messaging is crafted to target resident and elected officials. All of this is important because we occasionally leverage these channels to share our information. There we go. Went too fast. Specifically on this slide, you'll see that these 3 city divisions all have their own newsletters, websites, and each appeals to different target audiences and types of media outlets. So to dive in deeper today, we will be focusing on our 6-month business development marketing efforts and our partnership with DCI and how we're achieving our goals. As you heard me today, talk about our overall mission and identifying who we connect with, it's imperative that we recognize the agency partnership the Office of Economic Development has with DCI, which has helped us execute the overall vision. Here you can see the partnership roles that are divided between the Office of Economic Development and DCI. For example, the Office of Economic Development oversees the management of the website and social media, while DCI elevates Sugarland's digital footprint and reputation by proactively pitching to media to keep Sugarland top of mind. Now I'm going to pass it along to Whitney Williams, Economic Development's Business Development Associate, to talk about our successes up to date.
So now that you've heard about our mission, who we connect with, and how our partnership works, let's talk about some of our reported successes today. DCI has reactively and proactively pitched Sugar Land as a leader in the technology industry by featuring innovators in Sugar Land's business community to generate both regional and national awareness. For example, Hope Biosciences, a prominent Sugar Land biotech company, was featured in Click See Houston, an NBC affiliate broadcast segment and news article, resulting in more than 4.9 million impressions. Hope Bio CEO Donna Chang was also nominated to appear in Managed Healthcare Executives' August cover story as an emerging healthcare leader. Additionally, the Office of Economic Development was positioned as creative and savvy in the Houston Chronicle, highlighting public art programs and our partnership with the Space Cowboys and Houston Astros to an audience of 3.8 million. Also recently, PG Golf and the City of Sugar Land were featured in the Site Selection Magazine's annual Economic Development Guide and included an Innovation in Texas story, reaching a targeted audience of 25,000. Of more than 25,000, sorry. Lastly, our director, Elizabeth Huff, was featured in the print issue of Business Facilities Magazine, speaking on Sugar Land's economic development programs and success stories to a target audience of 40,000. Additionally, DCI has pitched Sugar Land as a great place to live and work by supporting our talent attraction efforts and building our brand awareness. And as a refresher, an impression is the number of times a person saw the content. So for example, this has resulted in Sugar Land being featured in MSN and affiliate Wealth of Geeks as one of the top destinations to travel in 2022, highlighting several livability assets and city athletics. Sugar Land's top hotels were featured in Travel Plus in an article highlighting the city as one of the best places for MLB fans as a part of our citywide Space Cowboys marketing campaign. And finally, Sugar Land will also be featured in an upcoming NPR podcast called Journeys of Discovery with Tom Wilmer, highlighting several livability assets and community timelines. Now let's take a look at our impact. So here's a quick recap on the achieved results and how these translate to our greater goal. And as a refresher, media ad equivalency means the dollar value of the media coverage. To carry on, as part of our digital strategy, DCI supported the Office of Economic Development in optimizing Sugar Land's digital footprint by identifying opportunities to strengthen Sugar Land's digital presence, including website and search optimization, social media engagement, and brand messaging. As a result, DCI added 4 new SEO optimized success stories to the OED website, including the relocation of the University of Houston's College of Technology, Hope Biosciences success in the biotechnology space, an updated HCSS profile, and the rebranding of the Sugar Land Space Cowboys to help drive website traffic and increase social engagement. Additionally, DCI optimized 5 OED website pages for SEO ranking, such as our workforce page and Chapter 380 incentives pages, just to name a few, all of which highlight top reasons to strategically invest in Sugar Land. Additionally, as part of DCI's site selector outreach, they have assisted us in securing appointments with several consulting firms such as WDG and Paladin. Staff also has several upcoming appointments in the works with Cushman and Wakefield, Evanson Young, and EY. And now I'll pitch it back to Melissa, who will talk about what's next.
Thank you, Whitney. So let's talk about where we're headed. As part of our efforts, the Sugar Land Office of Economic Development executed an integrated marketing strategy for the official launch of the Space Cowboys rebrand, which was activated weeks leading up to opening day on April 12th. The strategy included experiential marketing opportunities for residents and visitors, regional and national media pitching, ticket giveaways, promotional advertising, and influencer marketing to generate excitement and economic opportunities around the rebrand. For media relations, DCI is actively circulating a pitch positioning Sugar Land as a leader in public art initiatives that fuel economic development and community building. Incorporating information about the Space Cowboys' upcoming mural to supporting the recent rebranding efforts, which is set to be unveiled this month. Date is forthcoming and it will be shared. DCI has corresponded with a journalist at Forbes for a potential feature in an upcoming story on minor league baseball stadiums and the positive impact they have on communities and business districts. And finally, DCI has corresponded with a podcast journalist at NPR for a media visit in Q2 or Q3 with the potential for 4 to 5 storylines focused on diverse aspects of Sugar Land. New proactive storylines will include the positioning of Sugar Land as a leader in public art initiatives, fueling economic development and community building. This includes further amplification of the Space Cowboys rebrand with Forbes, which article is pending, and Sugar Land's leadership in medical innovation, leveraging the thriving biotech industry and local innovators. And for digital efforts, we will continue to optimize our website to reflect best practices in search engine marketing and refine our digital footprint by adding new Sugar Land success stories, focusing on our business community's latest projects and wins, and the development of video content for our website and social channels and industry one-pagers to target key industry sectors. That's it. Thank you so much. Any questions?
No questions? We always get questions at budget time.
We're bowled over by the success.
Any comments from the board?
I appreciate the update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kat, do you have any words to share with the team?
No, I think that was great. It's exciting to see it in this format when we see it all in one place. So we've been really thrilled with everything, and we've been doing some technical work behind the scenes to make the website, more searchable, get it in front of more eyes, and it's been really nice to see the success of it to date. So we're excited to deliver the next one to you at the 12-month mark.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There's no further comments. We're going to go on and move to item B, review of and discussion on University of Houston and Sugar Land. Dr. Jay Neal, Associate Vice President, Academic Affairs and Chief Operating Officer, and Professor David Crawley, Professor of Practice.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited today to have Dr. Neal and Dave Crawley here to give you an update on all things, the great things that are happening at UH's campus and all the great work that we've got going on together. And so I will hand it over to Jay and Dave now.
Real quick, I'm gonna try and put these two life scouts from Troop 442. So we're working on citizenship in the community. Is that why you're here today? Is that what everybody's working on? Yeah, how did I know? Okay, so freshman, sophomore, where we at? How about
That fifth grade.
fifth grader? That's life.
5'4".
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Get done before you're 16. Yeah, no, that's serious. If you get Eagle, you're eventually gonna come recruit you, because I know with all your merit badges and your Eagle, you can complete the education piece of it. So
She'll have her Eagle. She's doing the project this weekend.
that's awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
congratulations.
that is so cool.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool. All right, so as you can tell, this is home. I'm from here. We were active with Troop 38 for years. I was the committee chair, which is a really thankless job. But that being said, I've been a faculty member at University of Houston for 20 years in August. When the position at Sugar Land came available, the joke, but the reality was they needed a translator. Somebody that spoke fluent U of H and someone that spoke fluent Fort Bend County, because when the parties get together, they don't always mean the same thing. I can give you definite examples of James Patterson trying to convince me what the word perpetuity meant. And he was like, perpetuity, this is contract. I said, yeah, but the contract is 20 years, James. So that's a true story. But I do want to give you all an update on where we are. There we go. This is home. So University of Houston has a presence in Sugar Land for over 20 years now, but it's been an evolution. So we were given the property from TxDOT. It was considered a systems campus. So everybody was in charge. Nobody was in charge. Clear Lake, downtown, Victoria, main campus could all offer classes here. And it really, it wasn't as convenient as we thought it was going to be. So a decision with community leaders and President Couture was, we're just going to make it an instructional site. We're part of main campus, right? So when you step on our campus, 14,000 University Boulevard, you're on the main campus. And one of the benefits of that is we're able to offer tier 1 education to our community day one. We're not, and I'm not picking on our sister campuses, but we're not a regional school. This is the real deal. This isn't U of H Light. This is who we are. And to be able to offer that to our future students, our kids, our grandkids is a game changer for us. Now, that being said, having lived here now for 26 years, the community has grown so much. When working with Bauer College in terms of what percentage of students at Bauer are coming from Fort Bend, because I want to definitely want to offer Bauer programs in here. So their associate dean did a zip code search. He said, well, Jay, it's about 10%. I said, well, what zip codes did you use? He was 77479 and 77478. I said, that's great. Yes, sure. I need you to go from Needville all the way to Beltway. So I gave him all the zip codes. It's 30%. 30% of Bauer College is coming from Fort Bend County. So that is one of our premier programs. If we can create business opportunities for them where they can live, play, grow, work in Sugar Land, it checks off all of our boxes, right? So let's see. Let's talk about the academics that we have out here. One of the things that we have is a unique opportunity in Sugar Land where if you have children or grandkids, they're going to come up with all kinds of ideas and majors, and that's wonderful. We want them to pursue their dreams. That's what we've been telling them to do since they were little kids. However, some of those jobs or those majors aren't always tied to careers. Now, I'm going to pick on my son because he's my son, and he's probably the most financially independent and stable of my 4 children, but his degree is in poetry. He's top 5 slam poet in the nation. He's amazing. He's going to go to main campus for that. We're not going to offer poetry. We're probably not going to offer music. We're not going to offer that in Sugar Land. The programs that we offer are tied specifically to our business communities. So you think about who our highest employers are: school districts, hospitals, business community. But even within the big business community, it's more healthcare, it's more high tech, some advanced manufacturing. So we're being very strategic in the programs that we have out here. So as of this spring, a little bit of dip with COVID, we've got about 2,600 students right now. With that, we look at semester credit hours. That's how many classes they're taking. Coming September, though, we're going to have at least 1,000 more because we've decided to bring all of the College of Technology from the main campus to Sugar Land. Now, when I came out here 6 years ago, it was like, there's nothing out in Sugar Land. They don't even have gas stations. They don't have restaurants. They don't have restaurants. They don't have well, you build them a new building, like, hey, this is nice. So now the faculty are fighting to see who wants to come out here first. So in terms of onboarding them, we'll talk about Dave's laughing because he knows that the headaches we're dealing with. These are good headaches: office spaces, classrooms, trying to put everybody where they need to be. It's really been a game changer. So those numbers are going to be coming up very quickly. But to give you an idea of who's out here now, again, College of Nursing. If y'all have met Dean Tart, if you haven't, I'd love to bring her here. She is a force to be reckoned with. I love working with her. She is probably one of the most passionate deans I've ever worked with. So we have it's a second bachelor's degree in nursing. So students complete their bachelor's degree. They decide they want to be a nurse. They come and they finish up a bachelor's degree in nursing in 1 year. I call it the year of no fun. They take 20 hours in the spring, 20 hours in the summer, 20 hours in the fall, plus their clinicals. She has a 100% pass rate on all of their exams, and they have about a 97% placement of their students. Now you're saying, okay, what happened to that 3%? Are they just not good students? No. Once they leave the state of Texas, we don't track it anymore. So if they get a job somewhere else, we don't track it anymore. So everybody gets a job, obviously, right now in nursing. College of Technology, Dave's going to talk a little bit more about that, but I'll drill down into those programs. College of Education, our College of Social Work, Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, and Bauer College of Business have programs here. Social Work has a graduate program. It's a cohort that meets on the weekends. There are so many nonprofits in Fort Bend that's who's funneling, that's who's taking these courses. A lot of our students, our master's students, live here and go to work in our nonprofits. With the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, that's our largest college with over 10,000 students. And that's everything from our language, our arts, our political science. So one of their larger programs that we're bringing programs out here for specifically are political science and kind of community. I'm going to mess it up what the program is. Basically, it's city management. So working in those programs there as well. One of the other programs we're looking to bring out here that makes complete sense that I'm really kind of starting the grounds are Middle Eastern studies out here. And then our Indian Studies also wants to start offering Hindi classes. And that makes sense because that reflects who we are as a community. And that's the presence that we want to be in our community. With COT, and you can tell I'm talking fast because Dave's got a lot of cool stuff I really want to get to Dave. So computer engineering technology, computer information systems, digital media, construction management, electrical power engineering technology, mechanical engineering technology, supply chain and logistics, that's our largest program, biotechnology, human resource development, retail consumer sciences, technology leadership and innovation management, which is Dave's department. All of this is going to be coming to Sugar Land by 2025. There are computer information systems, digital media, construction management, supply chain, biotech, HRD, retailing are already out here. And we're at capacity. There's no more room until the new building comes on board. So we'll break ground for our second College of Technology building. It's a $52 million building. We just got funding through the 2021 legislative session. We'll break ground maybe December, January. You'll all be invited. It'll be wonderful. With that building, we have to wait until that building comes on board to bring out some of the electrical engineering technology equipment for their labs. They have specific equipment that we just don't have out here yet. So we're gonna leave them on the campus to the last minute, run a U-Haul and bring them all out. So, a little bit more on our transition. Again, $52.4 million in Sugar Land. We put together a transition task force to kind of just get in the weeds of, how many offices do we need? What classrooms do we need? What time bands do we need? If the students need to continue to take classes at main campus, how do we coordinate our shuttle services? How do we combine our high flex classes to make sure that we're using the students' time efficiently? One of the things that's been really interesting with working with the architects for this new building is the space utilization. The students and faculty will be teaching in a traditional face-to-face setting some of the time. And then they're going to need areas where they can huddle or they can have private time to attend class or actually lecture to their students in an online mode. So it's going to be interesting. So the plan is in the fall, we'll start offering our sophomore classes in Sugar Land. Our juniors will come out in spring of 2023, and we'll have our seniors and grad students out in 2024 as much as possible. And then the new building 2025. With our other building we opened in November, there's open and then there's open. So we opened in October of 2019. October's not right. It's right in the middle of the academic year. You can't schedule classes in that building. So hopefully we'll be able to coordinate to that. This is all part of our strategic plan, which we call Higher Expectations. And really with our key priorities, there are no surprises here. Student success, growth, partnership. This is with our relationship with the city definitely plays a part, and brand awareness. Now, no matter what we do, these key priorities are always going to be the same, but I'm very, very proud to say that despite the pandemic, we're ahead of schedule on it. We actually have our consultant that helps us with our strategic plan. She's coming down the 16th and 17th to help us plan out the next 3 years. So the fact that we completed it ahead of schedule is amazing. A big part of this component of the strategic plan, though, is a partnership or bringing in our consulting firm. We've got 40 acres. I'm going to jump to this map here. So this is the main building, guys, with the U of H on it. This is University Boulevard, and this is 59. We have 40 acres here designated for industry partnerships. We're very interested in creating a public-private partnership, but if you've worked with the university before, we're very risk averse. And again, there's some risk involved with P3s. So we brought on consulting firm as W&T Partners. I met this group at UC Merced, which is the largest university P3 partnership that's been done to date. It's about a $1.6 billion project. With the California system, they were losing students because they just had too many kids applying for their 10 universities. So they decided to enter into a P3 and build a new university overnight. And when I tell you just add water, I mean, stadiums, dorms, parking, classroom, retail, everything within 4 years. We're not going to do that, but we're going to get as close as we can. So in this 40 acres here, we're looking at what type of partners would work best for us. We do have some limitations on the property here for the 40 acres. It needs to have an academic component. Now we could stretch that a little bit, But for companies that want to build on the property with us, they need to be able to collaborate on research with our faculty members or create new ideas or hire our students for interns. So we're working very, very closely to kind of figure out where that is. And we're finishing up phase 2, which basically is what's the stakeholder mapping look like? Who are our potential partners? What are the procurement options? And again, it goes back to that risk aversion there. But then when we get to phase 3, which we're hoping to get completed by the end of August, we're going to have an industry sounding event where we're going to work with the city to identify companies that, does this make sense? You know, for the value added proposition, does it make sense for these businesses to be in that space? We've kept this very, very kind of our cards close to our vest on this. I actually met with President Couture this morning to make sure we could bless it to move forward to have these conversations with our industry partners, but we did get the blessing on that. So City of Sugar Land, I say, was probably our let me go back up way too far. There we go. City of Sugar Land's been our biggest sponsor, biggest supporter. One of the proposals we're working with the city and TxDOT is to extend the festival site road along the levee on the backside of the property. There's a couple advantages to this. If you are very familiar with our Brazos River turnaround that has fallen into the river, not once, but twice. This could be a workaround with that to give access back to our neighbors back here down University. It also helps us create infrastructure for the university, for gives us room to grow. And it also gives us infrastructure in bringing in partners and business partners who kind of say, well, we'd like for you to build on the property, but we don't have a road for you, and we don't have sewer, and we don't have electricity. So working in this direction, working together, I think we can get all those accomplished. To this diversity piece, we did partner with Fort Bend County as well as the City of Sugar Land. We created a project called Diversity Over Division. And again, as a university, we really want to acknowledge and thank the City of Sugar Land, title sponsor of this project. And one of the projects has been, these are pieces of our art mural on our campus. We partnered with the muralist to help design a 6-panel mural that represents the diversity of Fort Bend County. We want our students, friends, neighbors to come on the campus, and no matter where they're from, see themselves reflected in those images. And again, our biggest asset is our diversity if we use it wisely. We've also been able to partner with our students, some of our political science faculty, to host roundtable discussions. We've had photo contests with the library. We sponsored an art project for all of District 4. Oh, goodness. We recently, last week, it was a month ago, it was just last week, hosted an event with the city talking about art and Bitcoin. So this project has really taken on a life of itself and just kind of representing who the community is and what we do.
Jay, can you explain what an NFT is?
No, I cannot. So, I mean, I can take the quiz and pass the quiz. I can't pass the test on it yet. Dave might be able to. Like, it's one of those things like you hear it during the presentation and you're like, I got it. And like, as soon as you walk out the door, it's like, I don't got it. So I'm almost there. You know, it's kind of tagging art, but anyway, I'm not there. One of the things recently, though, is we had an anonymous donor come to the university and said, we really have some very talented students, let alone digital media students. I want to sponsor a video competition for your students. And the donor actually put some serious money behind it. So this is our top winner. And I'll tell you what she won in just a minute. So
about being a Coug is being a part of a legacy. There are many dedicated people that come to campus every day for the sole purpose of making an impact on the world by enriching the lives of students. I became a digital media major as UH Technology moved to Sugar Land. With a state-of-the-art COT building, I believe the program will continue to grow and cultivate the next generation of professionals that will revolutionize Houston and beyond. I came to the University of Houston as a challenge to become a leader with a rounded perspective. Coming into my last semester, I firmly believe my Sugar Land professors have made an impact on me personally and professionally. They have fostered my ability to research information and transform it to meet applicable objectives. As mentors, they have given me various opportunities to take on leadership roles to assist my peers. My ultimate professional objective is to establish my own marketing firm and give back to the program that enriched my life and my career. For this reason, I am especially interested in hiring former UH Sugar Land students to be their mentor and carry on the Cougar legacy.
So we had 17 entries. It was really hard to judge them. The donor gave first prize was $4,000, second prize was $3,000, third prize was $2,500 with a $500 honorable mention. So by giving those awards the way that they did, it was an award, it wasn't a scholarship, because if you're a graduating senior, you don't have, that doesn't go to anything. So one of the things that we did ask the winners, we did have a reception for them, was, do you have your own equipment? Because if they have their own equipment, then we can farm them out to the community. If they have to use our equipment, we can't do that. So like, we have industry partners that want to do videos, that want to do campaigns, they want to do all kinds of cool video. We've got the students, we should make sure they've got the equipment to do it. Dave, I hope I let you some room. You have a lot of cool stuff to go over, so that's my part of the presentation.
Thank you.
This is my good friend Dave Crawley, and he's gonna knock the socks off, I think. So
See, all those beers never went to waste.
yeah, I know. See?
I don't really read slides, so, I'm just going to go through it in my conversations. I got to talk right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Please.
well, yeah, I like to wander, right? So how can I start this, right? Well, I'm not normal. At least that's what my mom said, many years ago, but I'm an anomaly. I've been teaching for about 7 years at the University of Houston, which is where I met Jay. My background, to be real quick, right, is I was homeless as a teenager, figured out that I needed to go to college to have anything going for me. I figured that out and made my way through it. Traveled the world with PepsiCo, developing markets. I launched Frito-Lay in Russia. Then I was deputy CEO for Young and Rubicam, for those of you who know ad agencies. That's the largest ad agency in the world. I ran the Moscow CIS operations. Well, okay. And I think it's more important to talk to you. So I did that, and then couldn't convince my wife to move out of Texas. She just planned to move. And so I came back and got involved in startups, and I'm traveling the world with Hewlett Packard, developing markets for population-based computing. And then we homeschooled my son, and I was the vice president of security intelligence firm founded by Jim Bertazzani, former deputy director of the CIA for law enforcement. And my areas of practice is creating markets, corporate intelligence, branding, and innovation. That's right. I'm a novel or something. They're up, but you've all been brainwashed. You really have. Now, nobody sat in a room and said, oh, let's brainwash all these people. But the environment they're up, everybody's grown up with. We have. And as an example, did you walk on the sidewalk today? Right? No, I gotta. Hello, Kat. Here, we'll just go quick on this. Did you walk on the sidewalk today? And more than likely you did. And do you know why? Right? Well, yeah, to get you to the destination that you're seeking to attain. The problem is that you don't even know why you walk on the sidewalk, you just do. And there's never been a gun to your head. It said you can't step off that sidewalk. And this is important for you to understand. Because your mom handed you things to you in your right hand, you collected it in your right hand. Pretty soon she pointed at things, you pointed at things, and then she gave it names and pointed at names. Everything's moving for the right hand. 90% of humanity is left brain dominant. And eventually you start parsing words together, you create patterns gives content of thought, your awareness slides over to the left side, and the left side controls the awareness factor based on what it knows. Mathematics, words, logic, memorizations, critical thinking. The right side of the brain is all about exploring things you don't know. And that's critical for our generations and what's going on today. We have the opportunity to step in front of this and train our young generations with the disciplines of thinking. Not just job skills. To train somebody to do a job, they'll do a job, they'll do it well. To train somebody to do that next job. Cultures of opportunity are done by the disciplines of thinking. Lateral thinking, innovation. Innovation isn't just being different, right? So let's take a look at this because this is very important for you. And before we get into this, we're the only Tier 1 we're the only college in North America that has 3 degree programs focused on the skills of innovation. The disciplines of innovation. Let's have to be creative. No, that doesn't work, really, at least not consistently. You can have epiphanies. Again, how often? And then those people that do that often, they're unicorns. We believe that everybody can be trained to have productive ingenuity. And that's very important for us. We started this program 2 years ago. We had 1 class of 24 students. Today, we have 10 classes of over 130 students. We anticipate 2 more classes moving into this. We have a minor degree, we have a bachelor's degree, we have master's level courses all around the skills of subjects of innovation. State board approved. We're the only college in North America who saw this vision and stepped up. We got lucky, right? We actually got a pass in a matter of 9 months, which is kind of unheard of. So we're developing commercial partnerships around this. Whenever we have a conversation with business, they hear where we're going and what we're talking about, and they embrace us. And we've been able to develop commercial partnerships where we've attracted people like Microsoft, who's gone all in. They actually sent somebody to the Sugar Land campus with a tape measurement to measure out a ground floor. So we'll remodel it into an innovation hub. NVIDIA, the world's largest producer of artificial intelligence software, has stepped up and said, we want to create an AI NVIDIA technology center in your building. And we have tons more of large corporations that stepped up. And the reason why is because the number one thing that we have that a lot of colleges don't have, we have credibility because we have state-approved degree programs. We anticipate over 600 to 800 students a year getting a degree in innovation. And they can have an industry certification called innovation engineering, and they get a blue belt. We're also going to be bringing in black belts. It's like 6 Sigma, right? So when we speak about these subjects to business, they hear us because nobody has this except us. It's going to be located in the Sugar Land campus. So just so we're clear, because we talk about innovation, let's be understanding that it's something that's meaningfully unique. It's not just different. It's got to be meaningful to somebody. It's lateral thinking. It's systems thinking. Edward Demings. We also, focus in on logic modeling, right? Critical thinking. All of these are factors of leadership and communication, problem solving. And anyone can be taught. But why does it matter to you? Well, okay, creating a culture that solves problems, improves lives, creates opportunities, recognizes changes, pivot, not failure, change. This is important. Pivoting is all part of the process. When we teach the introductory course, we have 80% of the class failing at midterm because they're relying on the left side of their brain, and the left side just really has a hard time. The optimum brain is 60-40, 60% left brain, 40% right. And it takes training to get that. We don't teach to know about it. We actually engage with students and we train them, and they get there. But the last 6 weeks, is a little bit a little bit speeder, faster for them. But anyway, here's the real reason why, right? For all of it. It changes the rules on the competition. We're going to build a community. We have to build a culture of productive ingenuity that explores the unknown and develops these in a reasonable manner. Strong logic, discipline. And this is what's happening right now. We're stumbling all over 4.0. It's happening, right? We don't even know. I was talking to Exxon the other day, and they're putting artificial intelligence at the wellhead, and they don't even know what questions to ask, let alone know what this avalanche of information is coming in. And 5.0 is literally only 4 to 5 years away. We can't even figure out how to manage 4.0 yet, and 5.0 is coming right down, and we have no choice. It's going to be here. As you know, the world today, in 5 to 7 years, it'll be completely different. They're actually building cities. We actually have a part of our innovation program to put a physical property capability in the cloud of a virtual machine and hook it up to a 3D printer and print parts. I was talking to the vice president of Airbus as well as Procter & Gamble, and they're putting 3D printers linked up to the cloud, printing spare parts. That's the simple thing, right? 5.0. And what do technologies do best? They compete. They compete with the latest and greatest. They're going to push that down, and you have no choice. They'll figure out a way to get it into the system. And our generations of young people, it's you. You're the ones that are going to inherit this. You have to figure out what to do. We have to set it up so that we can give them the tools and the ability to do something. And we can make those decisions today or not, because it doesn't matter to a degree, right? It doesn't matter in the sense that it's not going to stop it. We're not going to be able to avoid it. It's going to keep. So we have a choice. Oh, and least I forget, the rest of the world, because of COVID, figured it out. They can be innovative too. They don't need America. And so what does that mean? All the yellow are countries that are advancing in their ability to develop new, exciting innovations. And you'll notice that while America is still ahead, it's declining. That's alarming. And why does this matter to business? Well, from research that was done during the 2008 recession, they found that companies that adopted innovation, engaging in their businesses, generated more sales growth and more profit margin. Challenging for us is the left brain goes, oh, let's just keep doing what we do. You can't dig a new hole by digging the same one deeper. And so, the number one concern about a year and a half ago by CEOs in America was the innovation skills gap. Number one concern. The workforce does not have sufficient capabilities of the skills of innovation, leadership, and problem solving. PricewaterhouseCoopers says that, well, it's right up here. 65% have a lack of confidence. It goes even further because 74% of the world's chief executives believe that the lack of innovation skills in the workforce today is an impediment on their ability to be competitive. Even to the point where the US government identifies that within several years, we'll have to increase hiring of foreign nationals 100%. 100%, just to accommodate the demand. Let's take it one step further, just so we know. Over the next 20 years, 10,000 people a day will be reaching 65. In the next 5 years, roughly 27 to 32% of the workforce will retire. We have a skills gap. We are literally retiring our mentoring class. And unfortunately, the dominant dynamic of academia is graduating people in hardened silos. If somebody do a job, they'll do a great job. Leadership, though, is lateral thinking. Technology is going to permeate on a horizontal basis. And therefore, the people that are going to be engaging in the technology world have to have horizontal skills of problem solving. When I presented these studies to a bunch of technology people at an industry conference in the energy industry, and I said, you guys have great technology, and you don't have a workforce capable of scaling your technology across the enterprise. They all freaked. But that's right. It's happening right now. Stats don't lie. Oh, yeah. Let's add some more salt to this. The workforce skills of a corporation degrade by half every 6 years if you're not constantly training it up. Add all that. It's like pull up the lawn chairs next to the train tracks. Just wait for the train to come in because it's 4 to 5 years away. We can do something about it now, which is what we're doing in the College of Technology and why we engage in these innovation programs and why we push for the state board of regents to build and approve this. And it's coming to Sugar Land. We're going to embed it right here. So these are the top skills that we teach in the innovation program. See, the challenges for a lot of leaders, right, is are they comfortable with ambiguity? However, being comfortable with ambiguity will be very important. See, we are going to be confronted with problems we've never known before, with solutions that nobody's ever done before. There's going to create implications that nobody has any experience in. It's going to then further create new problems that people don't have an understanding and hasn't even been documented yet. It's going to cause disruption that people haven't even been trained on how to manage that disruption. All of that is occurring 4 to 5 years. That's a good thing you started something, right? Jay and I talked about this 5 years ago. And we said, wow, let's do this and build something for the campus of Sugar Land that will create its notoriety of great importance to be the leaders of this in the nation. And it started, of course, with the regents in the period.
Hey, Dave.
Yes, ma'am.
Question. For your communication, the middle red.
Yeah.
Orange dots, are y'all looking to increase that skill set and bringing the communication aspect of those skills?
It's blended in.
Okay.
I mean, when you actually create an idea, which in our workshop for the city, right, we brought those skills of creating, but really creating an idea is a dime a dozen. You know, I mean, it's like 10, 15% of the effort. Communicating is a big part in the manner that you can communicate your idea clearly in a manner that you can present a vision and why the people will then be able to adopt and give you opportunity to have access to resources to achieve what you seek to attain. And one of the biggest challenges is when we are given an opportunity to build something, we go straight to the solution. We'll stop. You have to analyze how you're going to fail before you begin to figure out what you're going to do. Too many people get straight into, here's a solution, and they're running headlong. We say, stop, plan, do, study, act. Systems thinking, Edward Dickens. Where are you going to have your death threats and pre-plan how you're going to engage that? If somebody says, hey, we need a solution for it, we don't go run towards it. We say, We stimulate our thinking. We have techniques and tools. Every student who gets a blue belt gets this portal that's just rich in detail for 2 years after they graduate. and they get a blue cord. We're so pleased with this that those who get blue belts get an actual graduation honor cord. And they take that with all these skills they've learned, and they take that toolkit. It's just off the charts. Monte Carlo calculator, I can just one. And that's the toolkit when they get a job. We also are able to build an elite cadre of blue belt interns for the business community here. So we're going to graduate out of this campus hundreds and hundreds of students highly equipped with skills of thinking to engage and be prepared and lead into this technology, to establish and embolden a culture of opportunity in Sugar Land. And this is what Microsoft measured out to build. It's on the east wing of the ground floor. You know, here's an example, and by the way, pardon me for, I'm gonna zoom out of here, 5 minutes, thank you. There's so much to share, especially, you know, creating consortiums. We have consortiums in play that's bringing in people, companies to us, NVIDIA being one, right? And then we've also worked with the Advanced Technology Innovation Corridor, with the Build Back Better, which is over $250 billion, and we'll be able to work and try to encourage, you never know until whether you get it afterwards, right? Grants for the community, right? We work with Labs 196 as giving, you know, training events for some of these startup companies that they brought up to Sugar Land. We've got Advanced Technology Innovation Research Center, which commercial partners are coming in, and I don't want to go too far into detail because that'll take me right off. It's really exciting. Case in point, RelationShop. RelationShop is an artificial intelligence company based here in northern Houston that does loyalty shoppers programs for large grocery stores like Albertsons, United Supermarkets, as well as others, right? It may sound simple to you, but they are the ones behind the ability to communicate to you directly, one-to-one, to customize information for your interests in retail. They can guesstimate within $15 what your basket size will be when you go into the store at any given point. We have a partnership with them, and we're bringing them here to create the first AI retail laboratory in the cloud. We'll be able to, they will give us a mirror image of their data center. We'll host it in the cloud, we'll build curriculum around it. We'll use sandboxes so that we can develop products and solutions that we can, right, we get licensing off of that. And they'll bring their clients into our location in Sugar Land to actually co-develop this product development. It's, you know, with commercial intent. And so dynamic is that Microsoft, when we introduced them to Microsoft, Microsoft didn't even have a partner slotted in the retail industry for this particular capability. It's going to be there. What are we doing? We're starting our first project with them, which is the first keystone of the activity that you're seeing here, where we're going to be predicting purchase probability. Nobody's done that. And it's all built around AI. So you take the AI for retail, we create an epicenter here in Sugar Land. Sugar Land, through economic development, can say, we are leading the industry on a national basis on retail. Come here and be part of that and have all the intelligence of that. But once we put that in the cloud, right, it's accessible. So imagine if we were able to take the access of that data center, that laboratory, and provide least access to that for underserved colleges around the country. No, that's just a snapshot of what we're doing in the College of Technology for your community and what we're building and preparing the next generation to not just succeed in this, but to lead it. That's it. And if you'd like to know more about the actual commercial activity that we're doing with this, then by all means, I'm happy to share some with everybody.
Thank you, Professor. That was amazing. Any comments or questions from the boards?
I just have one question. Do we have, all this is going on, we've got all these people coming out of this college and they have all this innovative, exciting information. Do we have business to support these jobs? I mean, do we have enough businesses to keep these people here? Because if we're gonna have these incredible students graduating, where are they gonna go?
So we do a great job of working with Jay, and he's been incredibly supportive of not only our jobs, I send him our job postings all the time,
Yes.
but also our businesses. I think, do they have everything that we need to match all of our businesses? Probably not, but I think we're in a huge metro that has access to a lot of opportunities for these graduates, and hopefully someday they make their way back home. You know, I know a lot of people, when you graduate from college, the last thing you want to do is stay where you
Right.
graduated from, but usually a lot of people come back home. But I do think there is a lot of synergies between the businesses that we do have here and the workforce needs that are coming, our workforce that's coming out of UH. We do a lot of work to partner with them. HCSS has been a great example of how we've partnered and brought them together. They've put together a certificate program in collaboration with the College of Technology and with the Business College, because we do have a unique group of people that are looking for hardware skills and also software development skills, which a lot of those are very separate paths and usually in the universities, but we have a lot of businesses, we have several here who need both of those in one person. And so I think that's been a really cool opportunity that was launching right before COVID.
Yeah,
And-
HCSS has been amazing.
Find more businesses like that
Yeah,
here,
well, they
right
named,
here.
they named the
Great.
first floor.
Yeah.
That's HCSS floor. But I think what's gonna happen is, not just HCSS, is we need to work with them, because they're gonna be landlocked very, very soon. So the next move would be let them come on the campus on 40 acres. And then when they come, bring 10 of your friends with them also.
Exactly.
We model, we're working hard with WT March. We call it the Sheffield model. That's not the real name. We model after, we're trying to model what we're doing after University of Sheffield. Boeing approached Sheffield, they had a manufacturing issue. And they asked the researchers at the university to solve the solution. They enjoyed that so much, they said, well, can we move closer? And they said, oh yeah, we can move closer. And then Rolls Royce moved in next door to them. And now they have about 50 companies on that campus. So that's the model we want to approach. Now we're taking it a little bit backwards, where we're open for business. Help us partner with the businesses. It's a little bit backwards. That can be a problem. We're like, let's work together. So I think that's what's going to happen. Again, we've got roughly 200 acres of buildable property there. We want to start with this 40 acres, but we have a master land usage plan. It's fluid. So again, if we needed to come up with another 20 acres for other industry partners, I see that moving. I see some collaboration space. How we use the buildings are going to be different. So with some of these P3 partnerships, we may let's say we build a single story building. The business partner only needs 2, and they build 2 stories for us, okay? Or it's a 3-story, and we share lab spaces in the middle. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of moving parts, and how we do business is going to change. We just want to be at the table first.
I think you are.
And
There's
one of
growth
the-
in all of it.
And one of the things that we haven't, about that, but there's something called digital twin, which is you're able to create businesses and factories and city planning in the cloud. Physical properties, all unique aspects, and put sensors in the real world, and it's connecting and doing what is. But then, so it's a parallel industry that's emerging off of the bricks and mortar, right? It's part of the knowledge-based economy. You know, we went industrial, agricultural, industrial, and then, construction. Now we're into this game. Well, what's happening is we don't even know what those job titles are. And then you need somebody who's the intermediary between the twinning and the physical properties. We don't even know what those jobs are or what problems are going to be. And for the city, you're gonna have to figure out the policy, because this is all gonna roll up in the government.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I was gonna add. I mean, like, I love your last slide of stepping off the sidewalk, because I think to adequately have the resources to take advantage of kind of the outputs that they're doing, I think we're going to have to step off the sidewalk in how we've always done economic development. And I think we'll stay true to principles of not taking undue risks or smart, but I think the things like incubation and maybe it not being a Fortune 500 company that we partner with, but I think we're going to have to do a little bit of that when it comes to how are we developing and growing, because I think is either or both. Jay and Dr. Crowley said like that, the ability to be the first here to do this well is a tremendous opportunity, but it's going to look unlike anything that we've ever done before. So that kind of policy aspect of it, I think you'll be seeing things that you're like, really, this is weird. Why are you bringing this to us? But I think very aligned with some long-term strategy.
Yeah, it's, you have to be careful. Best practices are important and fundamental, but they can be weaponized to impede the ability for people to explore. And yet that's going to be the world. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for a fabulous presentation. Okay, we're going to move to item number 4, Director's Report. Elizabeth Huff, Director of Economic Development.
Much to mention other than we've got a few trips coming up that we are going to be meeting with some site selectors and hopefully some P3 exploration as well with other cities. And that's kind of the big things that we've got going on. And then we've got some other hopeful PR pitches that we weren't able to mention that Melissa and Whitney are actively working on the back end. So excited about some of that stuff coming up. That's all I've got. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn SLDC and SL4B.